today we'll try to cover some tips in Tableau. So these are the tips basically which we'll try to cover. Reset filter, remove duplicates, replacing missing values, top and bottom end, and horizontal parameters. So these are the 5 tips we are planning to cover. So let's quickly get started with the first one. So here, this is a sample dashboard which comes along Tableau, like how we have sample super source data. So in this, if you see, like currently there are like 3 filters: region, order date, and state. We will just create a button sort of thing, so that like once if the user taps that, it will reset all these filters to all or default value. So that's what we will try to do. So to do that, first to get the button, just create a new sheet. I'll let it insert. Text. Okay, so we got like button sort of thing. Let's quickly pull this to the dashboard. Okay, so let's create a dashboard actions. So dashboard action filter from reset sheet to all the rest of the sheets. Select show all values, and the fields should be the whichever field we have here. So selected fields. Okay. Add filter. Let's check. So now let me select the central region and click on the reset filter. We can see all accepted. So let's remove the tooltip which is popular. Dashboard. So already we have enabled that. So now let's ready. Apply some filter on order date and states as well. Let's reset the filter. Now we are able to get like whatever the filters whichever is applied by default all. So this is the first tip I had. Any doubts?
We go to the action once.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now we have made it all right. So we can we have the ability to do whatever we want, right? We can choose one particular date, one particular state also as default.
I think that may not be possible. Like once you select, if you keep filtered value, this reset all filter button doesn't make any sense. So though you have applied the filter and you are just telling like keep filtered values, it keeps the same. So there is no purpose of using the keep filtered values.
Okay, and no, I'm not asking about that. Is there a possibility of like instead of making the default all, can we make it default to one particular region or one particular date?
No, that's not possible.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah.
So moving on to the next tip, remove duplicates. So let me select this sheet one. And if you look like here, we have two IDs with the same price. But what happens, let's see, when we pull the product ID, price. So for example, this 4003 has only one 3000. Since the records are duplicating, it's getting added and the values is showing 6000. One quick way would be converting this price to dimension. And if you pull that, we won't have that issue. But again, since we have converted this price to dimension, we can't use this in any aggregated fields or calculation. So this is the one way, and the other way would be using LODs. Let me convert it back to measure. So fixed on product ID. Min of price. Even min max doesn't matter since it's the same like value, it will just show. So if you look over here now, we have the duplicate removed and we have like only the product ID and the price. So this is the second tip. Moving on to the third tip. So for product ID, if you see like for 4007, there is no value displaying, and even if you look at the data source, it's showing null. Like to get here 0, there is a way, and why we have to do that is like when we color the gradient while using heat map and all, what it happens is like only the particular cell or block, it will be just showing like blank white. To avoid that, what we can do, we can replace the nulls with 0, so that when we color by gradient, it will take that value as 0 and it will give the least like color. So it's just a simple function, certain function if we use. It will replace the nulls with 0, and even if you perform any calculation on this, it won't create any issue. Like for example, into quantity, if you multiply earlier, since we didn't use this return function, even the output also it will just show the blank. Now since we have used this, we won't have any issue, and it will be like whatever you multiply, it will take this value as 0 and it will give us the value 0. Next, moving on to the top end and the bottom end. So let me pull something from the customer. Sales. Sort it. Top by field. If you want, then this all of us might be aware of, and since like we have, okay, let's make the bottom filter. Instead of top, let's replace bottom. Okay. Let me create a dashboard. If you look, the axes are not synchronized, and it's like not that useful to compare. So to do that, let's select axis. Let's fix and make it 27,000. Let me remove the filter. 27. So now, if we look like both of them would have synchronized, and we got to make a couple of modules. Even now you can see there is some gap, like top 13, bottom 13, and it doesn't look that good. Even we can play with the containers. Instead of fixing, we can add a blank and make this like change according to the number of bars, but still we'll have independent scroll bars for both when you have more than, when we give more top end values. So to avoid this, we have like one tip. Let me pull the custom, or let me clear the calculated field first. So create calculated field, top, bottom, for rank, sales, path, this one are equal to then so now what this does is like it will calculate the rank of sum of sales in ascending order. So whichever has the least sales, it will get the like rank one like that, and it will compare with the parameter. And same case like other one will compare with the descending. So if rank in either case, both the cases will just come. Open bottom. So now like both top end and bottom end, everything will come in a single visualization. There is no need for scroll bar and fixing the axis and all. So based on the user inputs, we'll have like top and bottom and everything in a single visualization. So any doubts on this? Okay, we'll go forward for the last tip, horizontal parameters. So generally in parameter layout, we'll have like only in the vertical way, though we try to change in a horizontal way. We don't have much flexibility while making dashboards and all. So here, let's see how to do that. So let's create a parameter from region. Let's name it region parameter. Okay. Then let's create a radio button, calculated field. So n is equal to region parameter. Okay. STR is let's pull the radio button to rows. If we view currently, it's like central, it's T, rest all F, because I think in parameter we have selected the central region. So now if we change it to east, we get like true east, rest all false. So we got to replace this with the buttons. So let me pull the radio button to this. Before that, let's convert this to shapes. Let me pull the radio button to shapes. Region to columns. Let me hide that. So now let's fix the shape. So now it's currently east is selected. So let's keep it filled and just all unfilled. Okay. Now let's change to central.
Here I'm trying to understand why are we using F and T as the prefixes before the region?
And just like trying to find the true and false to just fix the shape. It's not required to fix the prefix. Just for our reference, like currently which one we have selected, like true central. So for that we can just give the colored circle, and for rest are like unfilled.
Okay. Okay.
Next, let me select scroll. Okay, okay. So now we have all the region. Let me pull the region to this. Let's reduce the size a bit. Okay, now if we change this accordingly, but our key motto is not to change from here. We want to change from the view directly. So we will use the worksheet and parameter actions. Change parameter. Parameter would be region parameter. Okay, once based on selection.
I think we got to assign the field.
Now once you select the parameter, it changes accordingly. And also if you see like there is an issue, like after we selecting everything is getting graded out. So to get rid of this issue, we can try something. Details, worksheet, actions, add actions, highlight action, selected fields. Now we select south, like it's not getting red, or we can see the animation it's by default getting back to normal, and that's because of this highlight action. So this highlight mark will be reflected to all the 4 marks. So based on our selection, it will just change. Now let's see how to use this sheet for the parameters in the dashboard. So let me create a sheet. But the limitation of this tip would be it will be only can be used for, obviously since you're using parameter, it can be done only for single select. If you can work around, then there are some ways to achieve the multiple select as well. But directly it's not possible. Let this be the sheet. Region. So whatever we did, the worksheet action is limited to worksheets only. Here we got to replicate it back for the dashboard actions. So add actions. So now if we select for the particular region, it gets reflected in the visualization which is in the bottom. So these all of the tips I had for today.